Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another podcast episode of the Musketeers of Media. I am joined with my brothers in arms with Tanner Landcamp,
Hello.
or Alley Gaming, and then I also have Eli Koskinen.
Woo!
All right, so our topics today are Criptics, which we will explain I will have my lovely friend Tanner explain in a second. We have Simpsons predictions, and then we also have TikTok to wrap it all up in a very gross bow. Anyway, Tanner or Allie, do you want to take that one? Or go ahead with your topic of cryptics.
Yep. I will start off with giving a rough definition of it. Cryptics are essentially wild animals or stuff like ghosts that cryptozoologists think exist in the wild, but they have not been proven to exist by scientists.
Okay. So this is stuff like, could you give a couple examples on that one?
Most popular ones are Bigfoot, the missing link,
Mothman?
Mothman,
Man.
Mothman. Just things that people have 100% go on record of saying they saw, but they don't have any evidence or at least sustainable evidence for.
Okay. So, one that I can definitely attest for, like growing up wise, is Bigfoot. Because I believed in Bigfoot for the longest time. I just kind of stopped, like casually stopped believing in him. It wasn't like a existential crisis where I was like, oh, he's not real. It was like, I just don't care to believe in it anymore.
Right.
But yeah, I was a big Bigfooter.
I think the ones that I think I remember were Bigfoot for sure. The Loch Ness Monster. Would that fall in that category? I think it would.
Yep.
That would, but that was proven false, which sad.
Okay.
Sad.
Wow.
It was proved false but the rumors of it, the picture was proven false, but rumors of it did span before that the picture was taken.
Right.
Yeah. And and this one might be an unknown one. Would Cthulhu fall in that category?
Cthulhu? I think Cthulhu's more of the religion category.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, Cthulhu is a whole thing with what's his name?
I don't know.
It's an entire series of books where this guy made.
Oh, the Necronomicon?
Yeah, stuff like that. Centered around the Necronomicon. Basically, it's just monsters that this guy made.
Gotcha. All right.
Oh, that reminds me of Adventure Time. That was fun. I love that.
I remember for the longest time you could never watch that show because your mom thought it was too inappropriate.
I did okay, but eventually at one point I had once I was okayed to watch it, I recorded every single episode onto what's when you could record stuff onto your DVR, and I recorded every single episode of my DVR. My mom was like, "You have to start deleting these," and I go, "No, you said I could watch them. I will watch all of them." And so at one point I binged the entire series 8 times.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But anyway, let's get back to the cryptics. So
yeah,
I think one that I actually believe in right here, right now, and I will go down in believing it, is the chupacabra. That is an actual fucking thing. That is an actual thing. There's no way that's that's false. Let me actually do a little more digging into the chupacabra. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's let me find something on it.
It's like a dog thing most depicted. Oh jeez. Probably the most well-known cryptic, which is technically a cryptic, is ghosts.
Oh, really? Are they technically cryptics?
They
I was
are
gonna
technically
ask that,
cryptics,
yeah.
because people believe in them, but there's no like proof of them scientifically existing.
That's
Okay.
fair because you've never really seen like ghost ectoplasm anywhere, like in Ghostbusters. Like that's not an actual thing that
Yeah,
you can see. You can like
yeah.
jizz in the corner, but that's not ectoplasm. That's your fucking cum.
Oh my
So
gosh.
like, no, it's just
Yeah.
honest. Like it's your fucking cum, dude. They do bio research
Okay.
on it, and it just like you get babies. Anyway, let
But
me
no,
Sorry, continue.
the reason why I bring up ghosts in this because I have had like 2 encounters of ghosts.
Oh yeah.
Like one in my own home and one at my grandma's. They were both just I was minding my own business. I was playing and I just like at my house it was like I saw what looked to be a little boy like move around the corner
Mhm.
Oh.
and then it was gone. And at my grandma's just stuff just fell off shelves while I was like playing alone. So
Jeez. That's...
I think I've also had something like that. My parents have told me stories about it at least. Um, where my grandma's on my dad's side was like she divorced her husband and they're both dead at this point and they're divorced and they hated each other. So when they had their two pictures up, they would like they had them because they're in this like cabinet and they're both facing each other, like angled towards each other, not directly facing, but like just angled towards each other. And every time they would leave and come home, those pictures would be angled the wrong direction, like the total opposite. They would pretty much flip and flip what direction they were facing. And they kept asking my older brothers, and they always like for the longest time they thought my older brothers were really the ones doing it, and they never like my older brothers never admitted to doing it. But at one point, apparently my parents mentioned the fact that it was like after a really long day, a really long hard day of work, they come home, they're both sitting on the couch, and they just see the grandfather's my grandfather's picture just fall flat on the ground. Smash.
Jesus.
The glass smashes. And they were like, "Did you see that?" They looked at each other and they both thought they just like seen that, or they like it was in their head. And then they both looked at each other and like, "Did you see that?" And my mom goes, "Yeah." And they just picked it up and went on with their day about it. And I was like, "Oh, that's fun."
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, what I have been told is that this house is haunted.
Your
Or
house
was
is?
haunted. I don't know. Mine.
It might have been
So
fixed.
I
'Cause
don't know the story. Can I bring my mom in on this one?
if she's there, yeah. So, I'm gonna talk about the chupacabra real quick because I do kind of believe in this. So chupacabras can literally be translated as goat sucker from Q-bar, but so it's a thing, a little like rat monster that people actually have decent pictures of, and it's like this like you can look at it online, and it's something that actually existed at one point, and it's they called it the bloodsuckers. Like it was just a crazy thing that was around back then. It was really cool. Yeah, it was like during it was near the I think it lived in the time period or not time period. It lived where like I'm trying to think of like modern day New Mexico, I think.
This one is a I I think it is a Mexican mythical figure. If I'm not mistaken.
Right. Yeah, I think it is
it is.
I think it is that as well. But yeah, it's one thing that I've firmly believed in. But it's one of those things that's like I'm not gonna go down to New Mexico to get a chill picture with a chupacabra. Like no, I'm gonna believe in it as a white man in Michigan. I'll cut this out.
All right, guys, my mom's here.
Okay.
Grab this mic. Can you talk in the mic real quick?
Talk in the mic real quick.
Ooh, that's
Here.
really crisp. Yeah. Yep. Good.
Go ahead.
I'm crispy. Is that a good thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So we're talking about ghost stories. So our house
Yes.
that we live in is super haunted. I have 1, 2. I have like 3 good stories.
If you
Oh,
could, like,
okay.
if you like sum it up a little bit. Do you
She
want
can
it
just
full, or
tell
should
them
we
if
sum
she
it up a
wants
little
to.
bit?
Okay.
What?
So
yeah.
the first one is I would always get kind of like this weird, like spidey sense, and it would be in one of the archways in our house. So, Andrew, do you remember before we redid the living room, like how you would go upstairs and it had that archway where you could go from the living room into the hallway to go upstairs?
Yes, I do remember that because you guys have the TV
Yes.
there now, right?
Yeah, because the TV we built a wall and the TV's there now. So I
Right. Yep.
used to be I'd be Eli was little and whatever, and I'd get kind of this like goosebumpy ick feeling, and out of the corner of my eye, I would see this little girl who was probably about 4 feet tall and wearing like an old time nightgown and really long hair. And I would see her and not see her at the same time. And she gave me this really icky, like it was not great feeling, and it would keep happening where you just catch her out of the corner of my eye. And then finally I told her, be like, honey, this isn't where you need to be, you're gonna have to move on, go, see ya, bye. And she left, so I haven't seen her since.
Oh, okay.
The next one is in Eli's room. Actually used to be, so we live in our house, was my grandparents' house, so Eli's grandpa's mom and dad.
hmm
And this was her bedroom. So this is the room that she died in. So when you were little, this is before you were upstairs still.
Yeah.
It was when Allie was living down here. And we had this little Chihuahua dog, and we'd get up early in the morning, it'd still be dark, and she would peek her head around the corner, look down the hallway, and then jump back, and then run and sniff under the door, and then jump back, and then bark, and then this whole song and dance that she would do. Like when you spook a dog and they
Yeah.
jump back, they go. She kept doing that. I'm like, what in the hell is going on with this damn dog? And I was talking to Eli's grandma and telling her the dog's like spazzing out every morning. And she's like, oh, I bet it's your grandma. And then my whole body, like goosebumps, like, oh shit, I bet you're right. So the next time it happened, I said, Grandma, I'm really glad that you're here. I love that you're kind of trying to stay in touch, but if you could please just stop messing with the dog. The kids are trying to sleep. Never happened again.
Holy crap.
And, and then the third one is when my twin nieces were here, and they were babies, maybe about
Oh.
6 months old.
Mhm.
And the room they were staying in, like the TV was going, but it was like NCIS or something was on TV. And me and their mom were in the dining room holding Skylar and Chevelle.
Mhm.
And we're holding little babies playing with, and this baby scream like crying coming from the bedroom. And Jamie and I look at each other, we're like, oh fuck, what was like? We're look at us, look at the baby, like, we're both holding, and there was no babies crying. Yeah, and then Jamie
What?
was here rocking the babies once, and she almost dropped one, and someone said, Jamie, and she woke up.
Holy crap.
Those are my ghost stories. There you go. Bye.
Thank you.
Well, that was interesting.
That was, yeah. Wow. I think I've heard one of those stories. I don't think I've heard all of those yet, but that's interesting. That is very interesting.
I know I've heard of one of
That's
them, but I've never heard the other two actually.
That's the first time I've ever heard like a ghost story that, like, from someone I actually like know,
Right.
and I can like put face to
I
voice.
just loved how unfiltered my mom just was.
Oh, I love it, dude. I love that.
It's great. I love it, but I'm like, oh my god.
She was like she's like, "Oh fuck." No, it's awesome.
So
It is. Yeah.
I have a story. It's not my own. It's an old like ghost story,
Mhm.
and it kind of relates to like Chupacabra what the chupacabra is now, is just like this vicious creature of the
Mhm.
night. It's also part of that like sort of region, like South Mexico, um, northern South Africa,
Right.
South America.
Oh, okay, yeah. Wait, yeah,
It,
I got it. Yep.
yep, it is the story of Elsie Bone.
Okay.
So basically, you have Elsie Bone was this kid who was a spoiled brat and going on a walk. Wait, hold on.
He has to fact check himself. I feel like I have heard this story before, but I could be wrong.
I don't think I have.
Okay, I'm back. So,
Okay.
spoiled kid, he's going on a walk, with his father, and he goes, "Father, I'm hungry. Go fetch me a deer." So the father takes his knife and he goes hunting for a deer. He comes back empty-handed. So the son, being mad, takes his dad's knife and kills him,
Damn.
and then takes um his father's liver back to his mother to cook.
Oh.
Yeah. And so what happened next after finding out, both his mother and his grandfather finding out what he had done to his father, his his grandfather brings him back and starts to whip him as punishment,
Mm-hmm.
and then in the cuts on his back put um hot powder,
Ooh.
like pepper powder or
Sounded
chili
like
powder,
you were interested in that, Eli.
Shut up.
and then um whiskey on the
Oh.
wounds. So they started to burn.
Right, they hurt
Ooh.
like fuck.
Yeah. And then cut him loose from the tree he was tied to
Mm-hmm.
and sent dogs after him.
What the dog doing?
So
Shut
the
up,
kid
Eli.
ran. The kid would run for miles just to get caught by the dogs and mauled
Mm-hmm.
basically to death. But he was brought back to the dead from the dead as a zombie, carrying the sack of his father's bones.
I thought
Oh
you were
my
gonna say
god.
something else.
Nope.
I
Carrying the
heard
sack of his
sack.
father's bones.
Wow.
Wow.
And he didn't learn anything. No, he's now a vicious murderer who goes around and kills others,
Mm-hmm.
whether you be a good man or a lousy drunk. He will kill you, pluck your bones from your body, and add them to the sack he carries.
Jesus.
Oh, I don't want to be in a sack.
Elsie Bone translates to the whistler.
Okay.
When you hear his whistle, and you can very easily look it up, it's just Elsie Bone's whistle. It's a very distinct one. He has a very weird working.
Mm-hmm.
He if it sounds far away, you're
But
already dead. All right.
Mm.
If you hear that from far away, you're already dead. But if you
Jesus.
hear it up close, you have a chance. And there's ways to ward him off. Dogs,
oh,
big dogs, specifically, because that's what killed him.
Mm-hmm.
whiskey,
Mm-hmm.
And chili powder.
and chili powder.
Oh shit!
That's how you can ward them off.
Okay.
And that is probably my favorite like cryptic ghost story.
I can see why that one's your favorite. That reminds me
Yeah,
a
no,
lot
that's-
of like Puss in Boots That Wolf.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Like
people there was a
the
big
body
debate.
embodiment of death.
Yeah. There was a big debate which whistle was more terrifying.
Oh, that's I'm sorry.
Death or Elsie Bones. I agree with the death just because it sounds like a nursery rhyme, and nursery rhymes are scary.
Well, not only that, but like what's behind that whistle? Like Elsie Bone
Yeah.
has weaknesses. Death has only been beaten by Puss. And not really beaten,
no,
he's just more pushed back.
The debate wasn't which one of them is scary, which whistle itself is scarier.
Oh, then I would still say death.
Death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's
and I agree just because
yeah.
it just sounds like a nursery rhyme, and that what comes after the nursery rhyme is just terrifying.
Yeah. All right. So we can move on to our next topic, which is hosted by
Oh no.
Eli, right?
Woo!
So Eli, do you want to go into that one with the introduction of the
Yeah.
Simpsons predictions?
So, to keep it, kind of give an idea of what this show is. Give me 1 second, because I don't remember off the top of my head.
Say bye to Tanner.
All right, so
Hold on,
for
don't start,
context, this
don't start.
show, the Simpsons, came first started back in 1989. This is, I think, it's one of the cartoon's most longest running shows. It is on. It's currently right now on season 34, and
Holy
it is
crap.
still going. There has been number of cameos and celebrity cameos that showed up. A lot of the show has been around for a long time. One thing that the show is kind of quote known for is these random predictions that actually end up kind of being true a little bit. So I have a list of some of those predictions. Do you want to do all of them, or do you just want to do a handful?
We can do all of them. We cut that other segment short, so we can do all of them.
All right, I'm gonna do 16 because I don't know about only one of them. And
Okay.
I'm just gonna sum up what the website says, and then we are going to discuss if we agree, like, yeah, they got, excuse me, if they got it right, or maybe we just have a different if we have a different opinion on it.
Okay.
So, this first one is about accessible space travel. This is in season 5, episode 15. So the episode is, Deep Space Homer marked an important moment in the show's history. As aside from featuring some of the Simpsons' best guest stars, Apollo 11 astronaut Buzz Aldrin and musician James Taylor. The episode has also signed the creator's willingness to go beyond the realm of possibility, or so they thought. What seemed like an unrealistic idea at the time, that an ordinary man going into space, has become a common concept, as commercial space flight is something people can look forward to in the not too distant future. There have been even all civilian spaceflight in the recent years via space.com, proving that Homer's far-fetched experience back then has become the reality for some people today. So I believe the Apollo, that was that in the 90s or the 80s? I don't remember.
I can look that up real quick.
Okay, yeah. And then I will look up that season. So season 5.
Is it the Apollo 13 mission?
Apollo 11.
It was 1969, July 16th.
Oh. So that's okay, that's really interesting. So maybe that one was a little bit different. Maybe I don't know if I read it wrong because this season was in 1993 through 94. And I'm guessing 13 was the 90s then,
No,
or
so
when was that?
13 was literally just a year after, less than a year after 11. It was in 1970.
Hmm. Oh, I see. So I think it's talking about that space travel becomes more accessible nowadays. I think that's what it's
Oh,
talking about.
with
I
a
might be
step of
wrong.
what they did. Okay, I got it.
So I think, yeah, that could work. Um, so this next one takes place in season 6 and episode 19. So this would be 1993 to 1994 because I went off of season 5. So so this one is talking about smartwatches. So in the season 6 episode, Lisa's Wedding, there were more than a few jokes about future technology, with only one really getting the future right. The episode showed a brief moment where Hugh talks to his watch and predicting the rise of smartwatches almost 2 decades before the first one would be introduced to the world. It's a fleeting moment that didn't mean much back then, but highlighted key tech like digital watches and voice recognition that would be commonplace today. Too bad Hughes' attempt at using the technology to propose to Lisa back then didn't quite work out as well as he hoped. So when was the first like smartwatch released? If you okay,
Uh-huh.
here's what we'll do. You will do the research part of it, and we'll see if it's like true or false. Will that work?
That's fine.
Okay, cool.
All right. So we're asking, when was the first
Smartwatch
smart...
invented.
Oh, okay, so when was this episode?
So season 6 would have been 1993 to 1990. Oh no, it'd be 1993 to 1994.
Okay, so the smartwatch was released in 1998.
Yep. So they got it.
Yeah, they did. By
All right.
a little bit, yeah.
All right. So the next one is serving horse meat in food. So this is season 5, episode 19. So again, we're back to 90 or 92 and 93.
Okay,
So never
I'm
trust the
ready.
food in Springfield Elementary, as a short gag showcases lunch lady Doris cooking up chops or lack thereof by revealing the way she casually adds horse meat to the kids' meals. The idea is hilarious on the small screen, but not funny in real life. From The Guardian recounts the infamous horse meat scandal of 2013, which found that 29% of animal used in Tesco burgers, millions of beef products were pulled from Europe, and there were unfortunately a public outcry about how supply chain could have been compromised so horribly.
Okay.
So I believe so. It would be an article from The Guardian from 2013 about people putting horse meat in kids' food at school.
Okay, found it. Yeah, so horse meat scandal could make pupils which switch to unhealthy packed lunch.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I think they got it on this one too.
all right, hold on. Stop. Don't talk.
All right, good.
Okay, say that again.
I was just saying I think they got this one right too.
Okay. Uh, hold on. So horse meat scandal could make pupils switch to unhealthy packed lunch. Yeah, I'm not gonna read this entire article. Holy crap.
Right.
This article is massive.
Yeah. I guess it was a big thing.
Holy cow. I think this is this a European? Yeah, I think this is a European thing. So, all right. Let's move on to the next one.
Blinky is an essential part of the best Simpsons episodes. The three-eyed fish is supposed to be a funny reminder of the horrid effects on Burns' nuclear power plant has on the town, mutilating Flora and Fiona like Blinky, a practice that is widely accepted or ignored by the residents. It turns out Blinky has a real-life counterpart over decades ago. Argentinian fishermen caught a three-eyed wolffish and reservoir near a nuclear power plant. Sound familiar? A ZME report quotes one of the fishermen who recounts their surprise at finding this rare specimen. No mention of Mr. Burns' counterpart is in the article, though.
Oh, okay, I see it. I just pulled up that article.
Yeah.
I'm talking
I
about the
think this
article
one
with
might
the
be
Simpsons.
Yeah.
one. Okay, I'll read the next one. The baby translator.
Oh, you found. Oh,
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I just found this article.
gotcha.
In one of the rare episodes featuring Homer's half-brother Herb, voiced by Danny DeVito, he manages to invent a never-before-seen device that can make him wealthy beyond his wildest imagination. Herb creates a baby translator, which would be able to decode precisely what the baby's babbling means. Today, there are quite a few baby translator, with quotes, equivalents on the App Store. Really? They're on the App Store? Apps like Cry
Yes.
Translator, Baby Talk Translator, and Zoundream are able
Wow.
to approximate what an infant's cry may mean. They're not quite so sophisticated as Herb's, but there's no doubt an inventor would be proud of his innovation, far-reaching influence.
Jeez.
That's actually really cool. I always thought this was like something that never really actually happened. Like, I knew this
Right.
is a thought that everybody really wanted, especially like parents back in I want to say like the early 2010s, or well, no, late 2010s. Um, where it was like they really wanted to figure out what babies were saying, and so on like Instagram and stuff like that, they would have stuff about it. But I didn't think they
Mhm.
actually came up with something,
Yeah,
which
no,
is kind of
that's-
cool. That is really cool. That
Yeah,
was
that's interesting.
season 3, episode 24. If you want to do the censoring, Michelangelo's David.
Oh, I was just gonna say, just do the next couple, and I'll just pick up.
Okay, yeah, I'll do the next two then. So this is censoring Michelangelo's David. This is season 2, episode 9. Marge learns a hard lesson about censorship when a slippery slope leads Springfield residents calling for the censorship of Michelangelo's David. The classic work of art is the classic work of art is hilariously covered up with a pair of jeans in an effort to make it more acceptable for the outraged community that won't tolerate nudity. So, real quick, just for anyone who doesn't know, Michelangelo's David is his penis. So,
Oh, okay.
back in 2016, a copy of the statue is on display in St. Petersburg, sparked controversy and prompted a vote from citizens who wanted to be cover up or remove. And it was just this year at a school in Florida's decision to deem the statue too pornographic to show to kids as prompted from Mayor of Florence, Italy, to extend an invitation to the principal to see the statue for herself, according to GBH News. And then we have Lady Gaga and the Super Bowl. That is season 23, episode 22. Let me take a drink real quick. I'm starting to get saliva in my mouth. All right. So, number 10, Lady Gaga and the Super Bowl. One of the Simpsons Super Bowl episodes includes a prediction of a musical artist performance in the 2012 episode Lisa Goes Gaga. Lady Gaga visits Springfield and performed her songs while flying over an audience, and at one point played the piano during her concert. In 2017, Gaga performed the Super Bowl, what is that? Super Bowl 51? L1?
Yeah.
Halftime show performing her greatest hits, including Poker Face and Bad Romance. During her halftime show performance, Gaga was lifted above the audience later in the show and also played Million Reasons on the piano. So so part of me is curious to see how many ideas they're just getting from The Simpsons, like, because I don't think how much of this is the Simpsons predicting them, and how much of it is people copying what the Simpsons do? Because
Right. That's
this
true.
shows very clearly has a big influence on the world. I'm not saying
Mhm.
everything here is like so I'm not saying everything here could be from the Simpsons like influence on people, but I'm saying some of these there's no way like Lady Gaga didn't take that idea from the Simpsons. Like that
Right.
seems pretty close because it's 2012 where this episode airs, in 2017 she does it. So there's
Right.
no way she doesn't see this episode and just does exactly what they say. So anyway, if you want to
Right.
take the Walt Disney and Fox merger.
So, all right. So this is season 10, episode 5. In 1998, in the episode "When You Wish Upon a Star," Homer meets Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger, and decided to work for them. Homer suggests an idea for a movie during his phone call to 20th Century Fox executives. The next scene of the episode showed that 20th Century Fox was now owned by Walt Disney. The scene is now among the infamous things The Simpsons predicted, as in March of 2019, Walt Disney announced a $71 billion merger with 21st Century Fox in 2021. Disney and Fox settled on the streaming rights in terms of the films that Disney would own. In other words, this settled what movies would be solely on Hulu, Disney Plus, or HBO Max, and the deadline for the agreement, or for the
So
agreement.
this is actually a really fun one that I like because I do remember this, not the episode, but I remember the merger. And at the time I didn't really understand how big and how like massive this actually was, but now
Mm-hmm.
like this is huge, this is absolutely massive that this deal was allowed to go down. Because I know when you look at like big mergers that are happening or trying to happen nowadays, you look at like Activision Blizzard trying to merge in some way, shape, or form with Microsoft, and that wasn't
Mm-hmm.
allowed. And so I'm confused on why like this was allowed, because this is like Disney has Hulu and Disney Plus, right? So it's like they're making so much money. What the hell?
Right. They
But
just want more money in their pockets.
right, and the $71 billion to merge is a crazy amount as well. So that might be why they were
Mm-hmm.
allowed to, because it was so big, but still. All right.
Yeah.
So
So
this next one is
this
fun.
one is an interesting one because they have actually done this a couple times. So I'll read this one and then I'll tell you the other two that I know off the top of my head. So this
Mhm.
one's about Trump's presidency, season 11, episode 17. The episode Bart to the Future premiered in 2000, where Bart Simpson saw his sister in the future and the leader of the country. Oh, okay, this actually talks about it. Never mind. Um, Leader of the country, where Lisa Simpson was Lisa Simpson. Lisa mentioned the United States was tasked with fixing the economy after Trump's presidency. Not only was Trump elected president in 2016, but one scene from the show looked as if it almost replicated in real life. In the same episode, a crowd of people watched Donald Trump descend on an escalator. It's a scene that is now among the Simpsons' prediction that came true. In reality, President Trump also descended the escalator with First Lady Melania Trump when the group of supporters watched in the background. So
So
the other part that I know of is kind of like the same thing. I think this is the scene when she gets elected. Or no, this is one of the future scenes, and then the line is what happened while I was gone, and she said, and somebody said, "Oh, Donald Trump was president," and then she kind of freaked out. And then the other one is not on here, but is a picture of, if I'm getting the country wrong, it's a picture of Donald Trump, like a glowing ball, and two members of Saudi Arabia.
okay.
That actually became true as well.
Wow. So this is one of
Yeah.
those that's like it's another one like the 20th Century Fox. Like there's no way that they seen this episode and this like got Trump to want to run. But I want to kind of put it almost in perspective for some people who like were in. Sorry, I thought there was somebody behind me. Some people, or for people who were like my age, because I didn't fully understand when and this is not like bashing anything at all. This is just actually putting it in perspective for those people who are younger. when Trump ran, the how unbelievably crazy that was like almost the equivalent of Ryan Reynolds running for president, or like The Rock running for president, because he was known so much for like business and acting and being just a public figure. For him to run was bizarre. And so like, and that's what I've gotten from like doing research into it and in looking at it. So not saying like anything other than the fact that it was just kind of crazy, like for some people to see him like run for president. So the fact that they predicted
Right.
this, it's just going more towards like the fact that they predicted this was a little crazy.
Right. All right. So we got the USA curling team, season 21, episode 12. In 2010, the episode Boy Meets Curl premiered, where Homer and Marge arrived at the skating arena only to see that it was closed to those practicing curling. They tried their hand at curling and eventually joined the U.S. curling mixed doubles team. During the Winter Olympics, during the episode, the U.S. team won a gold medal and defeated Sweden. In 2018, the U.S. curling team, led by Joey Schautzer, won their first medal for gold in curling. The U.S. team also beat Sweden in the 2018 Olympics with a score of 10-7.
That is actually, I mean, that's probably one, like they didn't get the exact year or anything, did they?
So this episode was in 2010. The curling team won the gold in 2018.
Right. I'm just referring like in the episode did they get the exact year, but it doesn't look like it. So this is one that like could have just been like, I would say it's on the borderline of being a prediction because they didn't get the right year. And this is the only reason why I'm being so specific is because it's the Simpsons predicting stuff. They predict a lot, so I'm not just gonna give them all of the predictions that they get. I'm gonna be a little harsher on them. So this one, uh, it almost feels like it's giving a little too much to the Simpsons, in the regard of
Yeah.
like that they predicted this. It's like, no, I don't know that you can necessarily say that. There could also just not be enough to context in this art, like in this little, because it has what, 2 paragraphs about it. There could also just not be enough context for me to make like more like talk more into it. But
Right.
anyway, let's go on to our next one. Do you want to get it or do you want me to?
I don't care.
All right, I'll let you do it.
All right. So this one is FaceTime, season 6, episode 19. In 1995, in the episode Lisa's Wedding, Lisa went to her fortune teller that predicted Lisa's future in 2010. Lisa's future considered that of her marrying her college sweetheart. Excited to share the news, she called her mom. The phone that Lisa dialed included a screen that showed Marge's face in real time attached to a rotary dial. While Skype was invented in 2003, it served primarily as a calling service used on computers. In 2010, Apple announced that it developed FaceTime for Apple users. The app allowed users to not only talk, but see the person that they were talking to through the phone's camera.
Now, this is a big, like, I used FaceTime a lot when I was, like, doing, like, in high school. That was a big thing. Like, when you were working on a project with somebody, you either got their, like, email that you could FaceTime or their phone number, and you would, like, FaceTime them, or you would get on a Skype, or you would, like, I don't know necessarily Skype, but, like, or Zoom. Yeah, there's Zoom now. You would do that, and that would be kind of like the normal, I guess. But yeah, it's, ooh, excuse me, I'm burping like crazy. That's one I gotta give to the one to the Simpsons. Pretty good.
Yeah. So, all right. So next one is the Matrix 4 premiere.
Oh, I'll do the last. I'll do the last 4 if you do this one.
Okay. Season 15, episode 14. The Simpsons prediction was easy to miss in 2004 episode The Zift Who Came to Dinner. At the beginning of the episode, behind Homer Simpson is a movie poster that read a Matrix Christmas coming soon. The image presented Neo, played by Keanu Reeves, in a Christmas hat. The Matrix was released in 1999, while The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions were released in 2003. And it wouldn't be until 2021 the next dystopia film in the Matrix franchise would be released. The Matrix I
Resurrection.
don't know.
Resurrections.
Yep. Resurrections was released December 22nd, 2021 in the United States, while Neo was in front and center in the poster. He wasn't unfortunately wearing a Christmas hat.
Darn. But hey, that's really good because they got it really close to Christmas too. All right.
Yep.
So this one is going to be a fun one to talk about. Pandemic. Season 4, episode 21. In the 1993 episode, The Simpsons first aired the episode called Marge in Chains. The episode was focused on Marge, voiced by Canavar. Okay, I'm not going to read that. Charged with shoplifting and forced to serve prison time. The rest of Springfield caught the Oaks flu. I don't think that's an actual thing, but anyway, after a shipment of products reached Springfield. The Oakska flu caused a similar pandemic as the COVID-19 pandemic. The Oakska flu originated from a different country before it made its way to the United States. In addition, the episodes did not have a treatment immediately available on and the doctor of the episode recommended that the patients got some bed rest, similar to the scientists that were testing out the vaccine to prevent the COVID-19 virus. Now this one we can totally we lived through COVID-19. That was what our sophomore, junior, senior year.
Yeah.
So that was a big part of our lives. I mean, if you think about it, those of you who have went through that and without COVID, think about having the end of your sophomore year, your full junior year, and part of your senior year completely regulated, I guess you could call it, with a bunch of regulations on a lot of different things. And it's definitely, I can definitely say it's had an effect on me. Whether for good or for worse.
It's had an effect on a lot of people.
Right, everybody who's been alive during that time period, it has had a massive effect on. So for them in 1993 to predict the pandemic in 2020, well, I kind of have to I'll do a 50-50 point for Simpsons and for Skeptics, but yeah. Anyway, let's move on to Murder Hornets. So hold on, let me get a drink real quick.
Remember, kids, hydration's important.
Right, hydrate or dehydrate. Murder Hornets. We can talk about a little bit about this one once it's done, and then we'll move on to the Tom Hanks endorses the U.S. What is that? Okay. In the same episode that The Simpsons predicted a pandemic, they also gave clues to another outbreak during the episode Marge in Chains. A crowd of people demanded that they wanted a placebo to cure their illness. When one of the members of the crowd pointed at a truck that hold the placebos, the crowd knocked over the truck releasing a swarm of killer bees. Similar to around the same time as the COVID-19 outbreak, that there were reports of Asian giant hornets appearing in the U.S., a type of killer bee. The Asian giant hornets was claimed to be a threat to the bee population and was reported that they could destroy an entire bee colony, as mentioned by the New York Times. Now, I remember this, and I don't remember what happened with that situation because we were all just dealing with so much stuff, because this was during when the Amazon rainforest burned down. This was when Australia was on fire. This was when a lot of different things were happening in the world, and the killer bees if it happened, say in 2018, we'd be hearing about it. We'd all remember it. There's probably some people who don't remember this situation, the killer bee situation.
Yeah.
Because of how much stuff went down in 2020. It was crazy. It was a crazy year. Crazy year.
But I think I also should mention same thing. In the hit and run game, those are the main enemy are hornets.
Oh, they are?
Yup.
I have not played that game. That is interesting.
Yep.
All right. That
Damn.
that was really I really like this article.
Yeah.
I'm glad we went through it because this had a lot of different things that I really liked about it.
And trust me, those are like just the top ones. There's a shit ton more.
Oh, I can imagine. I can
Mhm.
probably imagine. I think we're gonna call it there though. I'm getting a little exhausted right now, so
Oh yeah. Let me just a small thing on TikTok. So there is a new
Mhm.
TikTok trend that just started of people jumping off boats, and 4 people were just killed in Alabama. Please don't be a fucking idiot.
Yeah, don't do that. I don't know why we have to say that. It's a lot like the
Well,
grilled
it
chicken.
literally just happened today. I'm like, come on, people. Like, it's not that hard.
Yeah, as someone who's alive and doesn't do a lot of stupid shit, it's kind of easy being alive, not doing a lot of
Yeah.
stupid shit. Like, Eli, I think you can also attest to that. It's kind of easy.
Yeah, I mean, I just like all the TikTok trends, which would be a fun podcast bit.
Right.
All the trends that I've seen since TikTok was released, it just blows my mind of how stupid people are.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yep.
All right, cool.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, press the like button, the heart button, and go and find us on all different platforms that we have. Hold on. And go find us
I'll
on
make
all
sure
the
to
different. What?
I'll make sure to send you my socials again.
Oh yeah, and then I'll put those down in the description. Same with
Yep.
Tanner's or Allie's. I thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, like I said, like button, subscribe, um, follow on Spotify. Is that how that goes?
Find us everywhere. I guess I don't know. We're everywhere apparently.
Yeah, so we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, we're on different platforms I don't even know of. So anyway, thank you
Just
guys.
look up our name on any social platform, and you might be able to find us. If not, I don't know.
Yeah, the Musketeers of Media. So thank you guys so
Yep.
much for watching, and peace.